Today we'll have the star of HGTV's Rehab Addict, Nicole Curtis, on the show to share tips for preserving the character and charm of older homes as you renovate. Plus, we'll tell you the best day of the year to buy a house and take a look at some big changes to Janesville Mall. Keep it right here. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching the Real Estate News. I'm your host, Stacy Hansen. Let's take a look at your headlines. If you're looking to get a great deal on a house, timing is everything, and the numbers show the time is now. Homes in the U.S. typically sell at their lowest prices during the month of October. According to a study by Realty Track, October 8th is actually the best day of the year to buy a house. Deals that close that day had the biggest discount of the year, an average of 10.8% below market value. After removing major holidays, the next best days to buy are November 26th, December 31st, October 22nd, and October 15th. Realty Track speculates that homes are discounted in the fall and winter because buyers have fewer competitors and sellers are motivated to sell. The school year has started, the cold weather has arrived, and the winter holidays are drawing near. But as Realty Track's VP suggests, all four major pro sports are in season, so it could just be that sports fans have no desire to relocate their TVs and sofas during that time. Big renovations at Janesville Mall are now complete. The multi-million-dollar renovation started in February and includes 4 new stores. A Dick's Sporting Goods, Ulta Beauty, Rogers & Holland's jewelry store, and a Rue 21 clothing store have all been added. The project also refreshed the mall's common areas with new flooring, paint, and soft seating areas. The mall's bathrooms have been remodeled too, and contemporary new seating has been placed in the food court. A mall spokesperson said that the renovations have already had a positive impact on employment in the area. Dick's Sporting Goods alone has brought 50 new jobs with the addition of its new store in the Janesville Mall. A group of Californians operating a mortgage modification scam under the name 21st Century Legal Services, Inc. were sentenced this month, with the leader of the scheme being handed a 20-year federal prison sentence. The company made numerous misrepresentations to more than 4,000 victims, including falsely telling victims that they were a loan modification program sponsored by the U.S. government. Housing Wire reports that the victims were typically instructed to stop making mortgage payments and to stop communicating with their lenders. Employees of 21st Century Mortgage were instructed to tell distressed homeowners that payments made to the company would go toward mortgage payments. Instead, the criminals simply pocketed the cash. Homeowners lost more than $7 million in total to the scam. To avoid being a victim of a similar scam, the Federal Trade Commission suggests that if you are having trouble paying your mortgage or have received a foreclosure notice, you should either contact your lender directly or a credit counselor through the Homeownership Preservation Foundation. Starbucks stores in the UK are offering its employees a new benefit aimed at easing their cost of living: interest-free loans to help them pay their rent. The Home Sweet Loan program allows employees to use the loan to pay their rental deposit. The Telegraph states that the average rental deposit in England now is about $1,855. There's no word yet on whether this program will make its way to the United States. Renters in the U.S. currently pay an average of 30.2% of their income on rent, according to Zillow's analysis. In cities like New York and New Jersey, rent can cost as much as 41% of a renter's income. Are you looking to do some home improvement without spending a lot of cash? MoneyTips.com has suggested 5 options for improving your resale value that can be done with $1,000 or less. First, consider replacing your front door. Steel door replacements especially often see a more than 100% return on investment. Second, replace some of your kitchen appliances. Stainless steel and energy-efficient models in particular make a big impression with buyers. Next, accent the exterior of your home with simple landscaping work that you can do yourself. You can also update any lackluster areas of your house with new lighting fixtures. The final suggestion is a mini bathroom makeover. New water-efficient toilets are inexpensive and relatively easy to install. Combine that with a fresh coat of paint, new faucets, knobs, and towel racks, and your bathroom could look like new again. Stick around. We'll be right back with more real estate news right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Kirsten Goggin from Century 21 Affiliated. She's one of our news partners. We also have Jim Pope today from Wintrust Mortgage with her as well. Welcome, guys. So nice to have you here.
Thanks so much for having us, Stacy. I am so excited to have Jim joining me today. He is one of my favorite loan partners, and he has saved many buyers like in emergency situations and helped me personally on a deal I didn't think was going to come together. So he is one of my all-time top referrals, and it's so great for you to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Well, welcome. I've got a lot I want to ask Jim, but first, Kirsten, you have a new property. Can you tell us about that?
Yep, I call it a back pocket listing. So it isn't on the MLS yet, but it's going to be soon. It is 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, built in 2005, 2,500 square feet. It is on the east side of Sun Prairie, so East Side School District. It's a great subdivision there. It's in Carriage Hills or Gardens of Willowbrook, right over in that area. Really close to a 20-acre park. So contact me if you want to get the inside scoop and a showing before it's listed, or have your buyer's agent get in contact with me.
Now, Jim, everyone is talking about TREN. What is it and who is it impacting?
TREN is somewhat of a byproduct of what all took place in the last 6-7 years in our business, where the government felt like we need to better disclose to clients. So when they went to a closing on their real estate, they didn't want to be surprised as they walked into the closing table. So they are now requiring clients have all the documentation 3 business days prior to closing. So lenders are now more of the closing statement preparers, where the title companies were. And there just can't be any more last minute changes. So it's really a good thing for the borrowers, the buyers. It's going to be a change for lenders and the real estate community in general.
So I also wanted to ask you, what are some of the hot new loan products right now? I imagine now that the lending world is getting back to normal, there's got to be some out there.
There is. They've done away with all the exotic mortgages, the adjustable rates. So everybody kind of fell back to the fixed rate loans. So one of the things that I like to focus in on is these 10-year fixed 30-year loans. Most people aren't in their homes for more than 10 years or in a loan that long. Further, there's a newer product called the lender paid PMI. So it allows people to buy a home with 5% down with no PMI. It allows them to get maybe $30,000 to $40,000 more in a house for the same payment. So that's the newest.
That makes a big difference on the buy side.
Well, that's great information. Thanks so much for stopping by today, you guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
And you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Otto Gebhardt. He's the owner of Gebhardt Development. Welcome, Otto. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Now, you're a developer. How do you see things trending and toward which demographic in the developing world?
Well, we see a hot trend right now to dense urban infill with a lot of mixed use. And we're seeing a lot of the millennials and empty nesters, as well as others, that are looking to come back to the urban core. And they want to be around a lot of amenities and really right in the heart of the action, where it's very walkable for them. And with this, I think it's very environmentally friendly to have that, but it's also very much more a healthy lifestyle to have it where people can go to a lot of the services and amenities that they would normally go to on a regular basis without having to use their cars.
Now, you focus mostly on urban infill. Can you tell us what that is and why you do it that way?
Sure. We really feel there's a need for it, and it's a much more sustainable way to develop, being that a lot of the infrastructure is already in place, such as the water, sewer, fire department, schools, and we feel our job is really just to find areas that are maybe missing some amenities and services and add the density and the mixed use to that.
Why develop the East Washington corridor in Madison?
Well, that's a long story. I grew up in the neighborhood on the Cap East District, and my dad's office was at 1146 East Washington Avenue, so we've spent a lot of time there, and we always knew that it had a lot of potential, being that the isthmus is between Lake Mendota and Lake Monona, and we've got 2 great neighborhoods with Marquette on one side and Tenny Lapham on the other, and it's a short 5-minute walk to the downtown square.
So tell us about current projects you have going on right now.
Right now we've got the Constellation, which is in its 3rd year right now, is a combination of retail, office space, and 220 residential units. as well as 275 units of parking. And our goal is to provide a lot of retail that is locally generated. So in this case, we have Cargo Coffee, we've got the Star Bar, we've got Sujo's Restaurant, as well as Arneson Dental upstairs and the headquarters of Google.
That sounds great, really exciting. Anything else you've got going on or any tips you'd like to share with anyone?
The Galaxy project is the second project that we have underway right now, which is going to be a 60,000 square foot festival food grocery store right next door to the Constellation, as well as another 50,000 square foot of office retail and another 285 residential units, as well as about 25 residential condominium units.
That's all really exciting stuff. Well, thanks so much for stopping by to share this with us today, Otto.
Thank you.
And you stay tuned, we'll have more coming up right after this. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Bob Stonestreet. He's a sales manager at Madison Custom Flooring. Welcome back, Bob. Nice to have you back. What's a cost-effective way to improve the look of our homes when you're staging it for resale?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me back. A real cost-effective way to stage your home for resale is to upgrade your heat registers with a current finish such as brushed nickel, copper, oil rub bronze, and if at all possible, match your floor vents, light switch plates, and light fixtures together so that the room has a complete finished look.
That's some good tips. Now, how do you improve the look of floors in an older home without breaking the bank on them?
Well, oftentimes in older homes, you'll find under worn-out carpeting actual hardwood floors, and you can have those refinished for a fraction of the cost of installing new hardwood floors, and then just warm up the space with an area rug. Always check an inconspicuous area first to make sure you do have hardwood floors, such as the corner of a closet or something like that.
Good idea. That'd be a great find if you did have them. Now, I've also been hearing the term LVT lately. What does that mean?
LVT refers to luxury vinyl tile. It's an affordable, practical way to upgrade your flooring. Easy to install. It has many installation applications, so it's perfect for the DIY person. It's impervious to moisture, and you can use it throughout your home or office space. It can be used anywhere, literally.
That's a good idea. And now with winter coming, do you have some tips for us for making the rooms feel bright and warm and everything's dark and cold outside?
Yes, you can change your backsplash in your kitchen or your bathroom by using some of the newer glass or metallic tiles. They really do a great job of reflecting light back into the room. Also, installing under cabinet lighting is an easy fix and affordable.
Is there a way to update floors without the expense of actually replacing them?
Yes, for example, like ceramic tile floors, if you don't want to go to the expense of replacing them, you can certainly change the color of the grout to give your floors a new look. So if you want a contrasting grout or have the grout matching the tile, they're just simply called grout color and markers. Very easy to use and affordable.
Now, what if floors have just lost their shine and they're starting to look dull? Is there any way to really bring them back again?
Well, there's a variety of refresher products out there on the market that will improve the look of your vinyl or hardwood flooring and give it a fresh new look with just a simple cleaning and applying the new refresher.
And those are safe to use without changing color and all of that?
Right. I would always recommend testing if it's suggested, but most of the cleaners and refreshers out there are pH neutral, so they shouldn't have an adverse effect on the product or the flooring.
Well, great tips as usual. Thanks for coming back with us, Bob.
Thanks for having me.
And you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. When it comes to home renovations, not all of them have to be complete do-overs. Maintaining the character and charm of your older home, those things that made you fall in love with it in the first place, are key when you're making everything shiny and new. Nicole Curtis, star of HGTV's Rehab Addict, is here with us with some tips on ways to maintain the look and feel of your older home while making everything shiny and new. Welcome, Nicole. So why is restoring our homes better than doing a complete redo?
Oh, well, I always think that restoring anything is better than, scrapping it and throwing it out in the trash. Redoing something, one, it keeps something from going in the trash, but two, especially on old homes, and in Madison, you guys have such a great stock of older homes and buildings, and all of these things can be redone, at a fraction of the cost of new build. And that's really why I got into doing all of these great old houses, was that because I was watching everyone, look at some of these with all these challenges and saying, oh, just scrap it. And the budgets on a new build or a new construction are so much greater than if you just simply go in and tweak what you have. And a lot of times, once you get your hands dirty on an old house, you kind of realize that it's not so bad as you think. And a lot of them just need some elbow grease and cleaning up.
So you say we shouldn't rush into ripping out damaged flooring. Why do you say that?
Well, automatically when people get, an older home or they go into something, they think like, okay, it looks horrible. I need to start and do everything new. And the first thing that usually they sacrifice is their hardwood flooring. Or what I see a lot of times is people will take, an engineered flooring or a laminate flooring, and they'll lay it right over solid hardwood floors, which is just insane to me. And really the premise with my show always is just to show people that instead of putting all that hard work into laying new floors over floors you already have, a couple hours of, like buffing and sanding and refinishing gets the job done, and you have solid wood materials. I mean, most of these hardwood floors that people are covering up or tearing out would be thousands of dollars to replace. They're never replacing with the same quality of materials.
That's a good thing to keep in mind. Now, heating and cooling can also be tricky when you're dealing with older homes. What can we do to maintain the structural integrity, but also give us those modern day comforts?
Well, I'm sure you guys have been cranking up some nice temperatures there in the summer, because you guys aren't too far from us in Detroit and Minneapolis, where I have all my projects. And one of, the challenges I face on every home, one, we need to make them a little more energy efficient, and two, 100 years ago, they didn't have air conditioning running through. They didn't, some of the rooms didn't have heat. Throughout the years, we've had different additions. And many people, when they go into an older home, they're like, I can't figure this out. Or I go into an old house and they've dropped the ceiling, 2 feet, and they've ran their ductwork underneath. What I've done is that I've, spent 20 years figuring out how do we do all this without dropping the ceilings, without closing off walls, without changing the floor plan. And I'm working with Mitsubishi Electric right now on some of my projects where we're taking just that idea of pushing a controlled climate throughout a house without breaking down any of the really cool characteristics of the old house, like the original plaster walls and the plaster ceilings and the original woodwork. And this home that I'm working on right now, we have managed to keep this beautiful cathedral ceiling on my 3rd floor, and I'm still gonna have heating and cooling in there, but we're hiding it all because the systems have reached such a point, like anything else, technology has improved vastly over the years, and now we're able to do that without you having to see everything or make sacrifices throughout the home.
Do you have some solutions for homeowners with those annoying hot and cold spots that you sometimes get in those older homes?
Well, every house I've ever lived in is an old house, and there's always that cold room where you don't want to go to in the winter, and then usually it's the 3rd floor or the top floors that are so hot in the summer, and for me, that's where I always make my master suites. Now, that's one of the things that, protects me from having people wanting to come visit me in the summer, and no one ever wants to stay in my room, so I never have to sleep on my own couch. But the thing is now is that we've figured out a way to zone all these houses with all these new implements in heating and cooling so that, it doesn't have to be like that anymore. So, if you grew up in an old house as a kid and you had those things where you're like, I froze. I hear that so many times where people are like, I froze to death in my old house. I don't want one. We've figured it out. And that's really what I'm showing in my new projects is, everyone's obsessed with energy efficiency and really getting, one climate control throughout the entire house, and that's what we're doing. And at MitsubishiComfort.com, I'm really showing the ways that this can be done right now. And trust me, I am the one that walks through every single project and says, you're not doing that. I don't want to see a soffit. No, you can't put a furnace there because that's my linen closet, or you can't do this because that's my pantry. And it's very cool just to be able to design these houses now and kind of hide everything behind the walls.
So where can people go for more information?
MitsubishiComfort.com is a great resource right now. It gives you a little sneak peek into what I'm doing in this season, but also the tools that I'm using throughout these homes right now to add modern amenities, but still keep the original characteristics of the old house.
Well, thanks so much, Nicole. It was great to talk to you today. And you stay tuned. We'll have more coming up right after this. From all of us here, I want to thank our guests for stopping by and all of you for tuning in to your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. We'll see you next time.